I'm chewing my multivitamin. Good morning. Wah, wah. I pressed snooze on my alarm. In fact, no, I didn't press snooze. I pressed turn off alarm on my alarm, and that's what made it not turn on when I needed to wake up. Good morning. The fear of being late woke me up quite abruptly, actually. So, hello. I hope you are having a lovely morning. I need to be a little closer. Slightly closer. Get in there. Get in there, honey. Get in there, honey. Come on. Come on. There we go. Good morning. This is what happens when I sleep in and realize I'm late. The panic gives me way too much energy. Way too much energy. It should not be this much. Why is it not this much when it's calm? I gotta readjust my tracking as well. 1 second. It's a little crooked, a little wonky, little Willy Wonka in here. There we go. Okay, better. I'm on them antidepressants. That shit gon' have today. I'm not on antidepressants. It's just a good song. The song is quite nice, actually. It's funny. It's the adrenaline. Probably the adrenaline. You're so real for that, man. My body is sore today. It's quite sore today, actually. My guess is I slept in more because my body was so tired from working out and from the eventful Thursday I had with my sister and her son that it's just like, okay, you are extra tired. Also, I'm on my period, so that's just like a triple whammy, all in one. That's probably where we're at it. Get in there, honey. Me telling my halfling to see if the barrel's a mimic or not. Get in there. Oh, but I figured. Thank you for the posture check, Dustin. Oh, figured I'd go straight to the art because I am an hour and a half late. That is on me. I slept in way too much. Damn, having all these debuff this week. And yet we're still here. We're still going strong. Just a little late. Better late than never, though, right? Oh, right? Let me turn into music. Ugh, I love Imogen Heap's voice. It's so good. Get in there. Why does this barrel have teeth? Yep, that's a mimic. Hi for turkey. Hello. Welcome on in. Oh, I've had once after a bad dream. I remembered I was in my 30s and don't go to school anymore. It was also Saturday. I have that. I have high school nightmares where I'm like, my French teacher saw that I didn't do homework. She's upset with me. And I'm like, honey, you're out of high school. You've been out of high school. You already graduated uni. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What's the draw of the days? Today, we're drawing tea party art. I did the rough of the face, and I had a rough time with the face. I'll show y'all what I mean in a sec. Is the hand active? No, it's not. There we go. Should be visible here. There we are. Whew. But thank you. Shout out to Gecko for messaging me at like 10 in the morning going like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? The buzz from my phone woke me up, and I was like, "Who is that? Gecko? Is something wrong?" And I'm like, "Wait, I'm supposed to be streaming. Oh gosh, I was gonna stream." Uh, don't remind me about French homework. I've been slacking on my French studies this week. That's okay. That is okay. That happens. Always there to help. Thank you, Gecko. When was the last time you talked to Joel? I visit Joel's chat every once in a while and Joel says hi. I think the last time I talked to Joel was pre-Christmas? I've been busy since pre-Christmas. Unfortunately, I've been busy with a lot of things and some really cool people have I haven't had time to talk to the really cool people that I've met, and I feel bad about it. But I'm hoping that after tax season, I will have some free time because once that big hurdle is done, then that opens up my spring quite a bit, thankfully. Whew. It is 8:40 in Turkey. Oh, it's 8 in the evening in Turkey. Dang. It's late. I feel like Honey would have hoard mimics as pets if you yeeted Honey into various things to test their mimic. Perhaps. Perhaps I would make the mimics into very cool things. Excuse me. But yeah, last stream I was showing y'all this art I was doing because I wanted to draw this puffy dress. And this lovely, lovely little tea set. This little tea party set. Good morning, Zuchi! I'm so late, but that's okay. My brain is in a little bit of a frantic mode, so I thought, like, why don't I just jump into art? Jump into it, and we'll see where it goes from there. It's been quite a year already, and we're only in March. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a year. Thank you for the hydrate, Destin. I need a sip. It's okay. Please, Epic. You are great. Not at the moment. But Destin, thank you for the breathe routine. And thank you for the earwiggles. Don't forget to pay your gob tax, folks. Shiny, don't throw itself, but honey. Thank you, handyman. Also, hi, Bert. I'm one of the longtime lurkers who's been spreading love for you to all my friends via word of mouth. First time seeing you since the model update. Hope you're well. Welcome back. I'm doing okay. Life has gotten busy, but we're doing art and chilling. Taking it nice and easy. Whew. Shower thoughts. Sometimes I worry the latest generation will be discouraged too early and won't find their light. Then I remember Honey's stories about her little nephew and it gives me hope. Kids are both delicate and resilient. They are like sponges. There's a lot of hope in them. And so it's adults' jobs to nurture that and point them in the direction that will make them happy. Air Bucket, thank you for the resub. Happy 45 months. Welcome back. So I made an edit after stream, and it was these eyes. These were the original eyes, and then these are the updated eyes. There's a slight difference, and I'm trying to figure out why I like one more than the other. Maybe it's like, whoop, like the pointedness of the eye. Now that I'm awake and looking at it again, I'm like, maybe it's the direction of the eye, because the shape is a little off somewhere. Hi, Joko, welcome in. I actually knocked my little brother down the stairs, and he thought it was the most funny thing ever. Kids, we have to be so careful with kids, but also, they're very, very, very good. They deserve good things. All children deserve happiness, good food, and safety. And a safe place to learn. No, that makes it look crooked. Maybe. Kids are durable? Kids are durable, but like, I think when people hear that kids are durable, they're like, oh, kids can take it. Like, listen, this won't affect them that much. It's like, no. Kids are sponges. They will remember everything. And they won't remember everything. You don't know what they're going to remember and what they're not going to remember. So you have to be real careful. One looks like you're talking to someone. Yeah, one looks like I'm talking to someone. The other one looks like I'm kind of just posing. I think this looks a bit better. Hmm. Sorry, I'm wiggling my nose. And I got a song stuck in my head. Do you want to know what the song is? Sure. Why not? I go until they reach 13 and hit puberty, and all hell lets loose. Yep. And it's our job to still be helpful and supportive. Whew. All right, we'll put that there because I think that's good for the features. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. That is a song that gets stuck in your head. But thankfully, I have other music in my ears to distract me from it till I forget. So I'm careful as an uncle for my nephew when I curse next to my brother, who is father. Yep. I will do the same thing with my nephew. I guess y'all don't really hear me swear very often. Just because, like, that's not typically what I do. But I do swear with my siblings. And I try to not to swear with my nephew. But also, like, I think it'll be okay. It's not a flat cut or straight across. It's a kind of a sweetheart neckline. All right. Oh, I'm such a loser. How'd I ever lose her? Oh, baby, I'm messed up and out of my mind. I'm a loser. How'd I ever lose her? It's pretty. I love the line art. Thank you. I'm doing the line art right now. The sleeve looks pretty good. Thankfully, I have good reference. Join a stream to an angelic voice and pretty art. Oh my god, welcome in, Starfighter. I think you only in songs that have and collabs. Maybe a tiny bit on your own, but enough to still be PG-13. Yeah, I try as long as the word is not fuck. Yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, his current first word is the word he knows the most. My sweet little nephew knows the most is ball. That's the magic word. Ball is life to this 1-year-old, and it's extremely funny. He's so cute. He hasn't learned speech yet, but he is getting intonations down, which is fascinating. I didn't really realize kids did this, but he knows uh-oh. Uh-oh's an easy one for kids. Uh-oh. And he also knows I don't know. But the way he does it is he raises his hands to his sides, like in the I don't know position, and goes, It's so cute. It's so funny. He's learning, and I'm proud of him. He's doing his best. But yeah, ball is life to my little nephew. It's good evening, Slime Red Girl. Might have stream in background watching SWAT and maybe get playing Nier Automata. Yeah, you do what you gotta do. If you want to focus on SWAT, go ahead, or play Nier Automata. It is totally up to you. I got a question. Can you imagine if someone turned you into a marketable plushie? So fun fact, that did actually happen. I was turned into a marketable plushie about a year ago by Makeship, the Makeship Wizard. And it was pretty good. It was pretty fun. Hopefully, I will do something like that in the very near future. It should be fun. Also, Chojiku, thank you for the resub. Happy 22 months. Welcome back. Getting close to 2 years being here. Oh boy. My birthday's in a couple weeks. Oh gosh. Sorry, that just made me think of that. I missed it. That's okay. There will be potentially more in the future. Birth! April 2nd, baby. So close to being a joke. I was so close to being funny. But no. Delayed it by a day. Excuse me. Some people are like, oh yes, the date of your birth affects your star signs, and thus your personality. And I'm like, I was almost born on the funny day. How funny would that be? How funny would that have been? Couple weeks? You mean like a... What? Okay, let me see. Okay, no. No, you're right. It is almost a week and a half, actually. You're right. You're so real for... You're right. That is how day works. Oh my gosh, birthday. Then you're never gonna see me. I'm a witch, and you'll miss me all the time. Help me learning, and when I see you, I'll deserve it. There we go. I don't really have to draw too much of the skirt, thankfully, because it is going to be mostly covered by the table, so I'm gonna cheat that perspective. The fabric folds a little bit there. Heard this party with tea involved. Hello, tea firebender. Indeed. And Jägermage, thank you for the 100 shinies. Thank you very much. Good morning, Meta. How's your e-punny? Very deep. I was saying, like, I think it was the combination of my period. I worked out for the first time in a while yesterday. There was a third one. Oh yeah, and the events of Thursday probably all started compounding upon my brain. So I slept in a little more than usual. I was robbed of having a birthday on 10/10, which would have been great because December literally means the 10th month. Oh, that would have been cool. Thanks for the lurk, Illusory Llama. Oh no, Gobble on Shark Week? It's Shark Week? There's so much happening. There's so much happening. I don't know if I can keep up with all of it. All right, now we draw the hands. The hands are, I'm gonna turn off these real quick. There we go. That way I can focus on the hands. May 6th is my birthday. Nice. Your birthday's coming soon. Thursday already feels so distant despite it being the other day. Yeah. Feels like a while ago, and yet it was also almost yesterday. Jeez. Oh, excuse me. I struggle with hands. They are tough. Hands are tricky. That's why I'm doing them like this. Let's actually create another layer. I'm doing a little hand breakdown right now so that I can draw rough and then have them look good when I get to them. Excuse me. Many honey. Imagine a honey U2s. U2s could be neat. I prefer the makeshift designs because like they're a nice little campaign, which makes it kind of feel like a special event, and I can do something special for the streams. But yeah, honey, you maybe yawn. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Hi, Superman. Welcome. Got a huge amount of wildflower seeds, so I'm gonna turn the front garden all pretty. Oh, that sounds lovely. I really want to, if I ever get a place, I hope I will one day, but who knows at this rate. I would just want a garden. You know what? Maybe I'll get like a planter. A planter could be nice to start. I want to just get a bunch of wildflowers and randomly sprinkle them into the front yard and just have them grow. I think that would be really cool. Got no motivation to art right now. So we play Toji the Long Dark and Loken because that's was more comfy than harrowing tales of survival in the subarctic. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a scary time. I'm kind of doing a little bit of guesswork with these fingers, so let me reference my hand real quick. Okay. Let me get my here we go. This will do. I'm posing this out with my hand so that I can see how you would hold a finger sandwich with my teeny little hands. Okay. My boy's so smart. Mom spelled out the word bone and his ears immediately perked. That sounds cute. What's your best background of D&D, chat? Best background of D&D? What does that mean? Like, the best character background to have? Or the best environment to come from? The best type of D&D to play? There's a bunch of different ways to interpret that. Honey, if you don't know when your next available day so we can sit down and get a bunch of tasks done, if not soon, don't worry. Thank you, Beta. Thank you for the reminder. Haunted one, coat. It depends on kind of like how you want to play your character, I guess. Like, what do you want your character to be good at, and how does their backstory affect that? Like, what makes them good at it? How have they either been forced to take this skill, or why have they actively taken up this skill as a choice, you know? That has a lot of bearing on your character as well, of like, hey, was your character forced to take up this role, or was this something they actively chose to do, you know? There's a difference between a character who was shunned by their clan and had to learn how to fend for themselves out in the wilds of whatever environment that they're in, versus a character whose father loved hunting and brought them on hunting trips or week-long hunting trips, you know? It tells a lot about your character when you do that. Little box. I think I'll shrink this down a little bit. Because although, yes, tea fingers and sandwiches are big for me, they're not that big. They're more like regular sandwiches. Writing advice? I'm not really a writer, Chobatsu. What I would recommend is actually finding, there are writers on Twitch, and asking them, because general writing advice, I don't know. When it comes to writing or even making art, the more specific a question you ask, the more specific an answer you ask. If you ask a very general question like, hey honey, do you have art advice for me? I'll go, well, have fun. A general question will result in a general answer. A specific question will result in a specific answer that you may be more happy with. Mojang is adding the cutest thing to Minecraft. You'll be able to tame a ghast and fly around on it. You find a dried ghast and place it in the water. Once it gets enough water, it becomes a ghastling. That's cute! That's super cute! Honey, please, I made a channel specifically for talking about writing, and I need more people to use it. Perfect! If you want, then, go to the Discord and find the writing channel. Thank you for the reminder, Myth. Chobetsu. Well, I thought the character backstory thing was insightful for building better characters in fiction in general. Sorry. No worries. I think it is very good in general. In terms of writing characters, think about what your character does and why they do it. Why does your character enjoy driving cars? Why does your character enjoy swimming, you know? Are they good at it? Do they enjoy it? They can be good at something but really despise it for many reasons. Like, do they despise it because they were forced to do it without choice? Do they despise it because they were praised for it in a certain way that they didn't like? Were they discouraged from doing it and that's why they don't like it? You know, there's so many different reasons. You kind of think of it as like a little thought experiment, you know? It's a writing sort of thing and character building thing. Me with League of Legends. I was forced to play that game. Let's get what's a good soundtrack? I'm trying to remember a good soundtrack. What is her name? I'm trying to remember her name. It is by... This is the soundtrack from the trailer. Yuka Kitamura. There it is. Yeah, there she is. Okay, she did some music for Dark Souls, if I remember correctly. Yuka Kitamura. Does she have a YouTube? Because I want to listen to her music. She does really fun music. Yuka Kitamura is pretty good. Yeah, I like her stuff, but unfortunately there's not a lot of compilations online of her stuff. She does have a website, but like I can't stream that one, unfortunately. Let's see if her topic. Yeah, she's only got like one song. I don't even know if that's officially her. That's okay. Could do free run again? That's true. Free run could be good. Good little stretch. Now, do you prefer noodles or rice with your orange chicken? Rice. I'm a fan of rice. Also, Wirepod, thank you for the hydrate. And Randomer, thanks for the posture chat. Man, I want to watch Frieren again. I want to get back into it, but I've gotten into so many other things that I'm like, do I want to get back into it? And my brain's like, yeah, of course, you really liked Frieren. You really, really enjoyed Frieren. See, I gotta do hand-holding book position real quick. Where is... Here it is. Sorry, I just gotta grab my book to reference it. Alright, so that's how my hand holds the book. And then, like this, if I have to change the angle. Like this, okay. Oh, that's a tough angle. Okay, let's do that. So the thumb holding... So actually, we want to reverse that. Because the thumb would be on the out. Okay, the thumb would be on the outside. There we go. Okay. So we'd have the thumb like this. I'm just looking at my own hand for reference. And then you actually wouldn't see. You wouldn't see a whole lot of the rest of the hand. It would just be the book itself. I'll probably want to tilt the book up. There we go. Something like that. Okay. Decent reference. I'm meaning to watch Dungeon Meshi. Highly recommend Dungeon Meshi. It is very, very good. I like it quite a bit. I want to actually move the book a little over and do like a very subtle, like the book in the boob meme. So if we adjust it, it'll probably be something like this. Then we move this. There we go. Probably want the book to come up a little bit more. There we go. Something like that. The wrist is tilted a little strange. I want to fix that tilt. Probably be something a little more like this, and the spine would probably come a little further out, like this. The Apothecary's Diary is good? I've heard it's really good. I haven't watched it myself. I haven't really absorbed as much media as I've created at this point. My brain is in a creativity sort of spiral. I've been reading some books, though. I've been reading some Marie Kondo, actually, because I want to reorganize my space so that it all feels good and nice and clean. Because if your house isn't tidy, your brain's not really as tidy. It's easy to get distracted by things in your space. Drago, I gotta go, honey. I'm gonna play some Magic the Gathering with my brother. See you next time. Have fun playing some Magic. Oh yeah, little posture check. I started watching Free Run and I really enjoy it. It's great. It's so, so good. And Grevenin, thank you for the resub. Happy 2 years. Welcome on back. Hi, Lord Vampire. Today's going pretty good so far. We're just chilling, taking it easy. I woke up late, so I'm just doing my best here. Okay. Let's move the hands up here. Move the white up here. Actually, just turn on this white layer, and now I'm going to draw the hands. There we go. Where do you watch Free Run? I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Honey, don't get eaten by any mimics. Now you hear. No, 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 no. We're gonna be so, so careful with the mimics. Covenant on the high seas. Yes, indeed. Indeed on the high seas. The ancient the ancient tale of Pirates of the Caribbean is so, so good. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Keira Knightley's in it. She's so, so cool. It was recently added to Netflix too? Oh yeah. I know that Dunmeshi's on Netflix, so you can absolutely watch it there. Orlando Bloom is in it too. True, 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 true. I see the old days are still going strong. I'm not going to let the old ways die out now. We gotta remember our roots, especially people who love anime. Remember your roots. But also, it's important to support the series as it comes out. Because that way, oftentimes, it's more of good things that happen. They're like, oh, this is good. Good, the audiences want to see good stuff, so we keep making good stuff. I'm gonna change the fingers, because I like this a bit more. I like the fingers pressing into the softness of the sandwich, because it allows for the object to feel more interacted with when it shows the physics. A little bit of a tangent, but that's okay. See the new Looney Tunes movie? I haven't seen it yet. I haven't gone to a theater in a while. Today, okay, cries of not having Netflix. I cannot teach people the ways of piracy live on Twitch. Because I think that breaks TOS, I'm pretty sure. But there are ways. Well, the picture, thank you. I'm working on it. It's okay right now. There are definitely things I want to improve on it, but I'm just taking it easy. I'm being real gentle with myself. Even if the art is not appearing as I want it to, that's okay. The point is I am drawing. I'm drawing and allowing myself to try to learn something, you know? Just try to learn something. Because every time you do a piece of art, you're learning. Good morning, Dingy! How about you, the house company? Hello, Dingy of the house, Asmodeus. Welcome, welcome. I slept in because I was so tired after working out yesterday and the events of Thursday on my period, so I'm a little behind schedule today, but that's alright. We're still having fun with it. We're enjoying ourselves, taking it easy. My brain's starting to feel the adrenaline crashing where I'm like, oh, I woke up so quickly because I was late for stream, and now my brain's like, you want to take a nap. You want to take a little honk shoe and be a little Mimir and just chill. And I'm like, yeah, I do want to do that. But I also want to do art. This finger is a little too long, I think. So let me adjust this. Proud of you for pushing through. Thank you. You're being so brave. Thank you. I'm doing my best. And that's all I can really ask for myself. A little bit of a tangent with the bread there, so we're gonna adjust that. There we go. Okay. I don't want to create tangents. Sometimes they happen naturally and you can't really do anything about it, but I would rather not create tangents because that can distract from the art piece. There we go. Ask me about tangents and I'll go off on one. We love tangents. Arnar, got anything to assist with waking up? Mostly just ate some breakfast. I have some bread that my dad baked. It's not toast because I didn't toast it. Oh, I could chew on it. Ah, that could wake me up. God, I love a tea sandwich right now. Make yourself a lovely tea sandwich. Enjoy yourself. Eat good. Tea sandwiches are so cute. They're so, so cute. Alright, the hand is definitely too big here, but that's okay. That's why we gotta adjust. I love digital tools. A little bit smaller, and I think adjusting this finger size will help a lot. I got little fingers. I got little hands, and that's okay. They're little artist fingies. Morning, Bella. Digital art tools are cool. They are very cool. I agree. Chomping on butter chicken with pita from scratch? Oh, that sounds delicious. Butter chicken. I've never made curry from scratch. I feel like that would be a really hard thing to do, but very rewarding. But my brain is like, if I do it, I want to make it in like bulk. Like a big, big pot so I have leftovers that I can freeze. I think that would be a really good way to learn. Downside is if I make it bad, I'll have a lot to eat. I will have much of it to eat. So I have to be ready for that. I gotta be ready for that. That just means someone could hold your hand easier. True. If I got teeny hands, someone could hold my hand and warm it up because my hands get cold in the winter. It's not winter anymore, honey. It's spring. Oh gosh, it's spring. When did that happen? Time. Time. Time's always passing. Time is a scam. I made curry from scratch in a cast iron. It took a good 5 hours, but it was well worth it. Dang, that's a long time. Glad it was worth it, though. Genuinely, it's nice to hear. My hands are always hot unless I get blood drawn. Spring for 2 whole days. Oh, boy, it's been spring. Okay. Man, Freeman's music is so good. There we go. The perspective of the book is there. We've got paper. Now I've got paper here. Put an extra page here so it's not so uniform. Give the impression of a more organic feel. There we go, and now we got the book. Yippee! Can't wait for the second season next year. Yippee! Time is passing, and so you always got to enjoy the moment as it's happening. You know? We can never get time back. So we must take time for ourselves. I enjoy these moments here. Helps level me out. Oh, thank you, Dingy. It's nice. I get to chill and sort of do the art that I've been wanting to do for a while. This in a way is kind of a way that I can practice. It gives me a space to experiment in ways that sometimes I don't have time for. It's almost like an allotted time for myself. I appreciate them. There we go. Just finished an analysis of Epic the Musical, The Vengeance Saga. Why have Onion in front of me? It's, it can be sad. It can be quite sad, but that's okay. Hi, Jackman, welcome in. Music to long for your dead male wife, too. That's kind of what this, music is, for sure. Also, have a good time at work, Meta. Thank you for coming. Western Dragon fan, thanks for the breathe redeem. Rip, why? Extremely funny. Extremely funny. Alright, there we go. Alright. Mostly done with myself. I think the line art of the face is probably too thick. That might be what's throwing me off right now. The line art of the head might be too thick. So let's go. Filter, correction, adjust line width. No, I want to narrow it. A little less. Okay, maybe not that much. Maybe... You know what? Maybe I'll redraw it. Because the head doesn't quite fit. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna redraw the head. Let's go to this. I enjoy listening to your voice. It's very soothing. Thank you, Zexy. Thank you very much. Because, yeah, I think the line art of the body doesn't quite match the head. The head is slightly off, too. I'm trying to figure out what is off with the head proportions. But maybe I'll just figure it out as I go, you know? We'll go slow, see what happens. For the Queen of Finding Out. Wait, he liked me? Far too late. Oblivious. Hi, Ace Trader, welcome in. I show up to Tea Party like, wait, y'all's already had some here with Arizona dollar can on him. Listen. That's still bringing something nice to the party. Arizona tea cans, they are huge. Good to bring to parties. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn these off. I'm gonna... Also, Jims, thank you for the resub. Happy 40 months. Howdy. I hope you're doing good. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Art is kind of hard sometimes. Doesn't always give you what you want. And that's what I found. Because even if you have a particular idea in mind, you kind of have to accept that it's not going to look exactly the way you want. But you can shoot for as close as you want. Jim's not bad. How about you? Not bad. I'm sleepy. I'm just chilling, taking it easy, and doing my best. That hair swoops a little too much. It looks a little flat, and I'm trying to figure out why. So let me fiddle around with its shape. How long have you been drawn? Since I was 8. Oh, so it's been over a decade. Oh, excuse me. But I also went to art school. Oh, so that would affect my skill for sure. Breville, thank you for the earwiggles. And Dandy Mancan. Lovely name. Thank you for the hydrate. Cataclystia. Lovely name, by the way. Thank you for the sub. Welcome on into the tavern. Hope you're having a good Saturday. And Stitch, thank you for the posture check. Good idea. My back. I worked out my lower back yesterday. Feels good, but also I've been slouching. Excuse me. Drawing good for brain? Drawing is good for brain. It's good to keep your brain healthy. It's important. There's something about this that needs to be adjusted, and I'm still trying to figure out what. Something that doesn't quite line up, and that's okay. Part of the art process is figuring out why something doesn't work, or why it does work. And sometimes you don't actually figure it out. Sometimes you just can make guesses and do your best. Maybe if I make it a little breezy. Let's turn this down a little so I can see a bit clearer. How long have you been drawing? Well, I usually hang out in the drawing room for at least an hour or two each day. It's a good place for naps. Sometimes the toil. Art is struggling sometimes. Dingus gotta head out, but I hope you have a lovely rest of the stream and weekend. Thank you, Dingus! Thanks for coming to say hi. I hope you have a good time heading out. Perhaps working out as well, because maybe I should go for a run after this. Bring my energy level up. Oh, excuse me. Cataclystia. I subscribe in support of the arts. I have always struggled with drawing, so I got into carpentry instead. Carpentry is cool. I haven't gotten into carpentry before, but it looks really fun and difficult too. So good on you. Myth. Carpentry is an art in and of itself. It really is. It is definitely an art. It's also a science. Like, art has so much science in it, and people don't really understand that. I worked in every medium I can get my hands on, 2D and 3D. Nice. Must be well versed then. In the arts. Let's make it a little bit breezy, because I feel like that'll add a little bit more motion into the piece. Always makes me happy to catch you. Thank you, Dingy. And also a Shaggy Glar, thank you for the resub with Prime. Happy 14 months. And we got a hype train going, dang. Thank y'all very much. That's very kind of yous. I don't really know what to do with the hype trains. It's very kind of people. And my brain is like, I would love to just chill and do art and have fun together. I think that would be nice. Let's go. Edward Sugar Maple, thank you for the 5 gifted sub. Thank you very, very much. It's very kind of you. Cha-cha slide. I think I've had enough looting lakeside cabins and coaches sliding past the peripheral vision of Dwarves doggos. I'm gonna get some tea and grab a snack. Ooh. And maybe try some sketching. That sounds good. Damn you, Apple correct. Apple autocorrect. Dang. That's very kind of you, Edward Sugar Maple. Thank you very, very much. Now it's a level 3 hype train. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. What? Cataclystia, thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very, very much. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go. Eevee. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. It's level 4 now. What do people usually do with hype trains? Do they offer incentives or something? How funny would it be if if every time a hype train started, my OBS automatically went to like a very, very flashy, like, you are going through a hype train. You can't get off the train until it ends screen. I feel like that'd be a funny little bit. Just I'm in the middle of playing a game and it's like, no! What do you mean? Not really. That's kind of my thought, is it would be funny for a little bit, but then I feel like it would get really annoying. Some do. Some are just like, oh, thank you for all the support. I feel like that'd be a very Zentrea thing to have, like, such an interactive stream that the what's it called? Oh, not what I meant to do. The stream would change entirely if they were a hype train. It'd be funny, like, in games of, like, Lies of P. Probably. Some people have stuff that goes on, but those people are doing subathons. Oh, true. I don't really do subathons very often. I think I've only done one before. Maybe 2? No, I think just 1. Have I done 2? I don't recall. Danny Man Can, thank you for the sub. Welcome on in. Once again, love the name. Thank you so, so much. I should see about getting the wildflowers planted, but I don't want to get out of bed. I suppose it must be done. Plant now and reap the rewards sooner, you know? Sometimes it can be hard to do the things we want to do. But do it in the moment, when you're feeling it. That was something interesting, because I'm reading I'm reading Marie Kondo, because I want to organize my house. Well, instead of house, it's an apartment. But I want to organize it so it's like space efficient. And she brought up a really interesting thing with books that I think applies to a lot of things, where it's like, if you half read a book and if you buy a book, read it right away. Because that is when you most want to read the book. If you start reading and don't finish it and just let it sit on your shelf halfway through, it can sometimes just take up space. Like, you read the book and got what you wanted out of it. You got the enjoyment and the joy you wanted from reading the book. And even if you didn't finish it, that's okay. The book still did its job. And I think that's really nice. She had kids and she stopped trying, she says. Here's the thing. Kids throw every single organizational plan out of whack. There is no way to account for kids. But I'm sure that having a more organized space to return to so that you can know where everything is and have what you need will probably help with the kids a lot. Genuinely. Chojiku, I love having books take up space. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's one of the things that she says in her books, is just like, yeah, like, the point is not to throw everything away to make space. It's to just keep the things that make you happy. Like, cut the fat and keep just the things that make you happy. Not the things you might want, the things that you think you might need. It's the things that make you happy and spark joy. You know? The organization of the book sparks joy. Yeah, and that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. I do recommend reading the book because it is quite good. It's not a very long read either. I'm like halfway through and I just read like 20 minutes a night. It's quite nice. The writing style is very pleasant and funny. And every time I read it, I wanna fix my apartment and organize it. But I know I have to read the book first. I have to finish reading the book first before I do that. Funny story about that. I've collected art books before, but I never got to read it yet, unfortunately. That's alright. You can always try reading it whenever you're feeling like it. Like, there are things that you can enjoy having and not necessarily using. They can decorate a space, I think. Again, there might be something about that in the book. I haven't read it yet. This hairpiece comes out a little too much. Blade Extreme, thank you for the 100 shinies. Thank you so much. It's 21:30 and I'm sleepy. Get some sleep. For that, I think that's about 9 p.m. So yeah, if you're sleepy, get some sleep. Chill and rest. If cottagecore didn't already exist, I think Honey would start a new movement. Wenchcore. We wench Max in here. I do like cottagecore. I also like wenchcore. Wenchcore is so fun. That's basically what I called how I dressed in the first little bit with my first model. Time to get a little sippy. Unfortunately, I cannot focus on classics books. I can with manga or comics, or bande dessinée franco-belge. But with a novel, I sleep, so I use audiobook. That's okay. Find what works for you. It's different for everybody. And I got the pubcore. I feel like pubcore and wenchcore might be a little different. Wenchcore is like a little more cottagecore than pubcore, but they can still overlap. Marie Kondo's process just doesn't jive with my own personal organizational process. I need everything to be a very specific way or I'll not be able to function. That's okay. Like, again, it's not one method will work for absolutely everyone. Not everyone wants to organize in that particular way. And that is fine. That is okay. It's a thing that you can pick up and do if you want to. If you desire this particular way of organizing. If you don't, that's okay. No one's going to force you to do it. Lemon the Dinosaur. What a cool name. So glad I was finally able to make it to stream. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. I feel like I want to make this. Did I draw on the right layer? Okay, good. I feel like I want to make this hair piece. I'm getting closer. I'm definitely getting closer. I want to get rid of this. I want to move this hair piece a little bit more. Maybe add a little bit more motion to the breeze. You know? There we are. Awesome. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you for the resub. Happy 4 months. Welcome on back. Is Honey still over to own a tavern? Yeah, it's in the back. Oh, enjoy myself up above in the sky. A little stretch for my back. Zendale, I'm not a Disney villain. I just like looking out of large windows on the top floor in long flowing cloaks with a smoking cauldron in the room. It's my potato soup. You're a wizard in a tower. You're a wizard, Zendale. I'm a what? I'm a what? You're a wizard. Good memories. Good times. I think this is about as good as I'm gonna get with the hair. Finished, not perfect, you know? Unless... Yeah, okay. A little more volume at the bottom. This is not a quick sketch. This is a full-lined piece. I despise doing it. Sometimes it's fun, but line art is always something I struggle with. I have one arm. Hey, how's it going? Happy 36 months. Hope y'all doing well today. Just finished cooking a French onion soup. Oh, that sounds so good. Thank you for 3 years, honey. Thank you for always being a relaxing space to mellow out in. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in. and bringing good vibes with you too. Soup. We love soup here. And Sucky Chicken, thank you for the 143 shinies. Hello, honey. Your stuff is as cool as always. You have been dollared. Enjoy the day. Thank you. Thank you very much. And hi, Balthazar. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing alright today. I woke up late, and so I panicked a little bit. What are you doing, honey, later? Honey, just pondering to orb. Just pondering. Don't worry about it. I do it all the time. Alright. Turn on the features again. I think I want to make this a little bit thinner. Yeah. A little bit finer in terms of the line thickness. We're just cleaning it up very gently. There we go. Just a little bit thinner. Do I like this actually? I want to change the angle of this a little bit. Something like that, yeah. We're all superstitious. I've been working on it for 3 hours. 5 pounds of onions takes a hot minute to caramelize. Caramelizing onions take us a while, but it's so delicious. So squamdiddly. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Looking great, honey. Thank you. I hope it looks good. I'm trying to figure it out. There's some things where I'm like, this I need to polish up a little bit. Hmm. There we go. This looks a bit better to me. Don't know why this looks a little bit better to me, and I can't quite explain it. We're just doing it. We're going for it. How's your St. Patrick's Day? I spent mine sneaking in a corned beef Reuben into McDonald's so I could eat it with fries and a shamrock shake. That sounds so tasty. Oh, yummy, yumma. But nah, I just spent it streaming. It was a pretty fun day, honestly. Wasn't too bad. This looks cute. What tablet or software are you using? I want to try getting this digital art in the future. If you do exclamation point tools, you can see my full drawing setup. I would recommend, however, if you have never gotten into digital art and you're not sure if you're going to stick with it, I would recommend looking for just an affordable tablet. Just something within a very small price range that you can start digital art with, because I have a more expensive setup. I have a Cintiq where you draw on the screen. That can be a little bit expensive. Honey, why do melons have weddings? They cantaloupe. That's extremely good. Very, very well played. Well played. I gotta stretch, man. Oh, I didn't realize how tired my body was. Huh. 5 streams in a row, baby. Hey, Blood what's good? Blood Asp. There's a P at the end there. I gotta remember to really enunciate that one. Alright, I think that's all the line art for me. Now we're going to get into the objects. So, where is... Okay, so we're still on the roughs. So let's get rid of these, because I don't need them anymore. And we're gonna go table. I definitely spelled table right. Don't check my layers. And where is the... Here it is. Okay, we're going to put this above. And we're going to go from here because we're making a little tea party. It'll be nice. It's a nice little tea party for everybody. I'm going to change the size of this table because looking at it, this looks like a single table. Probably want to make it a little larger so that there's room for multiple people. Like this. There we go. That way multiple people can sit at the table. It's not just for one person. EP_goblin. That's me. CHQ. Yeah, mine cost me about 90 bucks. Yeah. I think I went into the Best Buy the other day and I saw like a really beginner Wacom no screen tablet for like 50 bucks. So would recommend starting with that first because that is a better place to start at a lower price point. If you already have an iPad, see if you can just get an Apple Pen for it. If you like it, of course. Otherwise, yeah, you can just get a USB plug-in tablet. Works perfectly fine. For me in this situation, I would be trying to read a sandwich while wondering why what I'm eating is so dry. Murpec, when the caramelization is almost ready, you can add a little sugar and vinegar to add a slightly sharp chutney flavor. Oh, that sounds delightful. That sounds so good. We're in Ramadan. Oh, we're in Ramadan now? I didn't know that. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ramadan is when Muslim people fast during the day, if I remember correctly, and they can eat at night. I could be wrong, though. There's a third option, known only to the daft. Slap a free art app on an iPad or Samsung tablet and master digital finger painting until you can make something resembling digital art. The secret third thing, yes. Currently using an XP pen, wouldn't mind trying something else, maybe something better. Yeah, that's fair. Finding something that you enjoy sometimes takes time. I was fortunate that I went to art school and I found the exact tablet that they offered the students, which is a Wacom 22-inch. And it is very good. I do like it quite a bit. And mine was, I bought one online for like $1,000. So I was willing to pay that much for my computer setup because I knew I was going to be doing art. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So my old Wacom cost me 1,600 Canadian. Dang, that's pricey. But hopefully it's lasting you a long time. That's the big thing, is hopefully the tech is lasting you a long time. It's important. Skyrock. Before the sun come up and after the sun goes down. Ah, gotcha. How translatable do you think pen and paper art skills are to digital? Pen and paper stuff I can actually do pretty well. So about this art, I went directly from pen and paper to digital, and it took me about 6 months to really a year to really get the hang of it and get it where I wanted to be. Granted, I was learning how to improve my art skills. Took me a good adjustment period. That's how, like 6 months is about what I'd say. So stick with it if you begin doing digital art because it will take a little bit. Some people pick it up immediately. I picked it up slow. I like how the tracking really captures the funny ways artists contort their heads when trying to get the right angle. Technically, I know there is a rotate tool where I can just do this, but my brain is just like, yeah, it's just faster to do this. It's just faster to do that. I want a screen tablet so badly, but I have to make it do with my Wacom Bamboo. All I can make on commissions is paying the bills. I would recommend, if you are getting a good amount of commissions, start raising your prices a little bit. If you find that you are struggling to pay your bills, but you have a long line of commissions, raise your prices. because you should be able to afford your living situation, but it's also important to make sure that you upgrade your tools when you need to. It takes a little financial planning when it comes to calculating how much to charge for art, but it's really important. T11 digital took me months to figure out. Yep. 6 months for me. Really didn't grasp it until a year in, but that's yeah. Yeah. I want a screen tablet so badly, but I have to make do with my Wacom Bamboo. Oh, my bad. I already read that. Artlich, thank you for the hydrate. Bugbear. Maybe I can pick up something with my tax return and nab a CSP license so I can finally do digital art at the cool and normal way instead of digital macaroni art nonsense I've been doing. Yeah, this Clip Studio goes on sale. I don't know if it's still on sale, but 4.0 just came out. And it's a one-time purchase, so usually when it's on sale, it's only like 25 bucks or 20 bucks. Love your model. Thank you, Invader. I made it myself. Way random question. Does anyone know what language the minions are speaking? No idea. I think it's a made-up funny little language. Wizards are never late, not early, blah blah blah. How about a save you? Also, how you cool? Hi Johnny. Good save. We're working on the table right now. The little table here. All right, time to draw the plates. Okay. Not excited to draw the food, but we'll give it a shot. Seeing a cute gobbo getting drawn by a cute gobbo. It's gobception. A gobception. It's happening. Yeah, I can for sure draw a circle like that. There we go. And now I am going to do the artist's favorite trick. Control C, Control V, let's go! And then just shrink it to the size you need. Saves time, baby. So true. We love a copy paste. We love copy paste. And now we're going to do it for here too. Now this one's a bit different because the line art is small. I'm going to adjust it here. Here we go. Plate here, actually. We're going to do, this is the plates layer. There we go. Now that I've got these, I'm going to do my best to freehand them. Trying to do everything with copy and paste can lead to very good good perspective, but it can lead to kind of unnatural looking perspective. So I'm going to freehand a lot of these. If you can wait for sales for art tablets too. I got a humble bundle that included various art software, including a year of Clip Studio Paint. That's not a bad idea, yeah. I would recommend buying Clip Studio Paint outright instead of getting the subscription version, but yeah. Don't ever let people phase you on how much your comms cost. If you need to live on your commissions, you need to charge that much. Yes, it's very true. I'm finding that sketching is great and line art would be great. I just have to find out how I can improve, but coloring and shading is so alien to me that I can't seem to get it right at all. I am also not very good at coloring. I am not very good at coloring, honestly. It is probably one of my weakest points as an artist, aside from backgrounds. I don't really have as much advice on getting good at it, except for do color practices. And even then, that's homework that I don't want to do sometimes. But that's okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's try the cups. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the maybe I'll draw perspective boxes actually, maybe I won't. We'll see how I feel. There we go. Now we have a little bit of tea in there. There we go. Oh, the background music, do you have a link to it? Yeah, here. This is what I'm listening to right now. I love listening to Blue Turtle. Very, very good stuff. They do little animations for the music too. Hello, Bard. Welcome in. Little stretch. Oh. Oh. I listened to Playboy Cardi? No, I haven't listened to Playboy Cardi before. I don't know them. Oof. I can feel the period cramps now. Ah. That's rough. Oh well. That sucks. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Do I know what I'm doing? Not really ever, but that's okay. We're just enjoying ourselves and having fun. Big Will, I forgot what the answer was. Where would I post my lore if I wanted advice on improving it writing-wise in the Discord? There is a writing channel, so I think that would be where it goes. Do we ever know what we're doing? Nah. No one knows what anyone is doing. We're all just kind of doing our best. A fun thought is one day, hopefully, we will be old enough to be the only ones who know best, you know? Whenever I get worried, I'm like, well, there are people who are older than me that probably have more expertise. At a certain point, we will become those older people who have more expertise. Kind of scary to think, but also comforting, you know? Also, Johnny, thanks for the breather team. We're all on autopilot, and eventually, Through enough left turns, we will arrive at our destination. Yeah. It's okay to not really know what you're doing, but you just gotta let people know if the situation demands it, you know? Figure out how to do what we want to do in a safe space. I find that letting people know that I don't know what I'm doing is more helpful than me trying to pretend that I know what I'm doing. Because there's no shame, I think, in saying, hey, I don't actually know. Let me try to learn it. Let me see if I can learn. Roswell, thank you for the posture check. I'm kind of testing my brain right now because my brain is like, you are losing interest in this piece. You are losing interest in this art. And I'm like, okay, let's break that down. Why am I losing interest in this art piece? Is it because the character's face doesn't look the way I want it? Is it because of the perspective? Is it because of the anatomy? Is it because I have to do background elements? Is it because I don't like drawing environments? Like, there's so many questions of like, why is this not giving me what I want? Why does this feel like hard work? Difficult work that I don't feel like doing, you know? I feel like that's an important thing to break down. Neutral Warlord, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Let's see. Oh, you're playing For Horizon 5. Speed Overdrive raid. I have never heard of Forza Horizon 5, I don't think. For a second there, I was like, Horizon Zero Dawn? I was like, no, that's something different. That's something different. Grovenin, speaking of lore, I gotta plan out a big event for my Space Marine chapter soon. It's potentially gonna have some really contentious ideas for some players. So I gotta figure out how to make it all work without breaking the established lore too much. Yeah. That can be tricky. Fitting lore into other lore can take a lot of work and brain power, so good luck with that. Bye, Leon. Take it easy. Oh, a little stretch. Excuse me. Ooh, the tiredness is catching up to me. Oh no. Why is the tiredness catching up to me? Am I hungry? Did I just sleep too much? Is it because I'm tired? I wonder. The Yanga was sleepy. Yeah. Perhaps today will be a little bit of a shorter stream. Because who knows? Maybe the stress of taking my sister to the hospital is hitting me now. I expected it would hit me at some point, but I guess, yeah, huh. Could be poor breathing? Maybe. There are multiple reasons why it could be. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons I might be tired today. That's alright. I just have to accommodate myself and be gentle. Hope she's doing okay. Yeah. Long story short of what happened is on Thursday, my sister, while I was babysitting her son, she cut her hand with a bread knife and it was bleeding a lot, so I had to I had to grab my nephew and her while she was going through shock and drive her to the hospital. Stress, oversleeping, adrenaline crash, overall fatigue, weather. There's a lot of reasons. But yeah, she is okay. She got a bunch of stitches. Her finger is okay. She's staying with my parents right now just to make sure that my little nephew's taken care of, and she is too. I find when I'm still feeling sleepy to eat something that'll wake up your mouth first. Cold green olives that'll and some Mountain Dew work for me, but something cold with a sharp flavor can stimulate you. Oh, interesting. I have, you know what? Let me eat a little chunk of my bread. Let me eat my bread. See how that goes. My dad made sourdough bread. I got. Yeah. Make a grilled cheese later? Ooh, that's true. I could make grilled cheese. I also have chili I gotta eat up, so maybe I'll just eat some of this with chili. That could be nice. Sourdough's good with some wise guy probably. It is good. I think my dad has to cull the bacteria a little bit more because it's a little too sour right now. That's okay. Planning on building a wood fire oven this summer. Ooh, that sounds fun. Like you can make a lot of good stuff in there. Hey, Mr. Man. Heartbreaking. I have ads on Honey's stream. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How did it go, Mr. Man? I'm sleepy. I'm eating my dad's sourdough. But yeah, I'm trying to think of why I'm so tired, even though I got so much sleep last night. And my brain is like, maybe it's because I took my sister to the ER the other day. Maybe that's stressing me out. I'd kill for sourdough. Well, my dad has been giving me sourdough every week. Every time I go over to my parents' place, he has like 3 loaves of sourdough out on the table, and I'm like, Papa, please, there's only so much of this bread I can eat. Papa, I love you so, so much. Please. You know, you think what I tell you about hitting later. I mean, yeah, yeah. I didn't think it would hit me this hard later. I'm tired. Hmm. Stress can make you sleepy. Oh, don't I know it. Anytime I get really stressed, I fall asleep. Like, if I'm hanging out with homies and I get stressed out, or I remember something that stresses me out, I will just take a nap. I'll just take a nap, and that just fixes me sometimes. Bo, thank you for the gifted sub to Mr. Man. Are you happy now, Mr. Man? No ads. No ads for you. Y'all are funny. Y'all are so funny. Alright, let me drink some water. I assumed a gobbler sleep right now. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I was like, why am I suddenly, like, losing focus and interest in this piece? And I was like, a lot has been happening. A lot has been happening. Perhaps that's why. But look at how good I drew the sleeves. Look at how well I drew these sleeves. Thank you, reference. Thank you, reference. I don't know if I'm going to do the flower patterns, honestly. Sorry, I got sourdough in my mouth. If you want to call it and go get some rest, that's completely valid. But I feel bad. Maybe I'll see how I feel in about a half hour. I always lose interest halfway through the line art. Yeah, line art is tough. Line art's a tricky thing. When the dough is sour. The dough. Yeah. I can tell. Okay, my brain is officially tired. I heard when the dough is sour, I went the dough. I'm just copying what people say now at this point. Myth, I'm getting deja vu now. That's deja vu. Shut up, honey. Stop. Honey, please. Honey, please. You're silly. You're so silly. Focus. Focus. You're almost there. You are almost done the liner. Come on. You're almost there. I do gotta separate the teapot from the cups, though. So otherwise the line art's gonna intersect. Teapot. 2 a.m. brain rot honey is cute, though. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Silly. She's silly and has to focus. She's not focusing. Chat, my streamer's not focusing. How do I get her to focus? Do not have access to Adderall. What do? Excuse me. I burp. Did you say Godot? The game making software? Oh gosh, Clip Studio. Why are you doing this to me? Clip Studio, please. Are those eye bags? Yeah. Made of myself from sleep deprivation. Thanks for noticing. Myth, I swear this has happened before? Really? But you've been tired, the conversation turned to sourdough, and you're that exact realization that you're really tired. I mean, I've been getting sourdough for a while because my dad's gotten really into making his own sourdough culture. It's pretty good, but he does have to make it less sour. He's gotta breed the culture to be less sour now. But yeah. So this conversation has probably happened. I am a sleepy little guy. I'm a sleepy little guy. It's fine. If it wasn't sourdough, it was some kind of bread. No such thing. What do you mean, no such thing? Sourdough can be too sour. Absolutely. Get sourdough for Q Goblin. I like it. It's good. Nuh-uh. 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 Sourdough can be too sour. Breed it so it's better. Make them breed better. Shut up on it. It's not that funny. Why am I laughing? Anyway. This is what happens when I get tired. Oh boy. You unsours your dough. Delirious. It happened so quickly. I was fine for like 30 minutes and then it hit me all at once for some reason and I'm like, what happened? What the heck happened? Why am I so tired? I slept so much. I did so much exercise yesterday. I have been so good and healthy. And I guess the stress just hits you out of nowhere. That's just how it be sometimes. Hey, yippee! You sound like you're that level of tired where your cells all feel like they are on fire. Is that a thing? Is that a thing where you feel like your cells are on fire? Do people actually feel like they're burning? What? I was in the army and I felt that. I don't think I've ever experienced that. Like when I have pulled all-nighters for art projects in school and it feels like you're cold and dry and like liquid has been sucked out of you. It's very similar to when you donate blood. That's what it feels like. I am extra cold when I'm sleep deprived. But I slept for like 10 hours. More, actually. I think I slept in. Parasite Eve-core. What do you mean, Parasite Eve-core? The way I understand it, you also need to work out to get the effect. I did work out yesterday. I wonder if that affected it. this teapot handle need to... Oh, not what I meant to do. What if I drew my OCs kissing? What if I wanted to be silly and just make my OCs kiss? Maybe that's what I'll do to rest after stream. She's just at the level of tired where the brain is prioritizing critical bodily functions and not less important functions like focus or properly perceiving everything. That's possible. Also, Rainbow Quartz, thank you for the resub. Happy 17 months. It's tea party time. Tea party. Oh. Rooibos tea. Vanilla rooibos. With some honey in it. Oh, that sounds delightful. That sounds delightful. I guess being extra tired registers as being sick to your body and then breaks into a fever. Oh, is that a thing? I've never had that happen to me. Is that a common experience? Hi, Goblin. Found your content on YouTube. Welcome! So sorry you're catching me while I'm sleepy. My normal content is a lot more chatty and chill. It's actually quite so, let me get this straight. Here, I'll put the art here so y'all have something pretty to look at while I go through this. So let me get this straight. Y'all get really tired and stressed. And it feels like you get a fever, but you're not actually getting a fever. Like you're getting a fever, you're not sick. Does that happen? Does that happen? It's a mock fever? Google tells I trip me that hot cells is a side effect of overworking your mitochondria. The powerhouse of the cell. Honey, shut up. Just for a bit. Quiet. Maybe you were running on adrenaline from I'm supposed to be streaming and now it wore off. That could also very much be it. I woke up an hour after I was supposed to be streaming and went, I'm supposed to be awake right now. Feeling sleepy? I couldn't help but notice the bit of shadow under the eyes. Thank you for noticing. Thanks for noticing. Only when I've been up 20 plus hours, Cataclystia. Still a lovely name. I sometimes do, but I'm also disabled, so okay. Gotcha. I just get the slap happy. Dean, what is the slap happy? What is a slap happy? Feel free to explain. Because I don't know what that is. Huh. Why are y'all so tired you're hyper? Everything becomes funny. Like trigger happy with slaps. Everything becomes hilarious. Punch drunk light. Slap. I'm gonna look this up. What is slap happy? Dazed and confused. To describe those who behave with such abandon, it's as though they have had the common sense knocked out of them. Is that what it means? Slap happy? Zuchi, me and my siblings are both the type of people where if I get really sleep deprived, we just start laughing at everything like we're intoxicated. Oh, okay. Why did y'all like not respond and go like, she doesn't know? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. You just see a rock and start laughing. I do that sometimes, but it usually happens when someone says something funny, like the word donut. Donut is a funny word. I don't know why. I don't really understand it, but it is. There we go. Where's the teapot? There we go. She might get slap happy honey goblin one day. One day, perhaps. Probably in a longer stream. There's a reason I only stream 3 to 4 hours. It's because after a certain point, my brain does get tired and my voice gets tired as well. So perhaps one day we will get to see Honey being silly and goofy. Alright, get rid of these bad boys. Get out of here. Get out of here. Perhaps on the Dark Souls 2 stream? Probably the Dark Souls 2 stream, honestly. The 10-hour Dark Souls 2 stream. Ugh. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna play Dark Souls 2 and see it in a new light for sure. For sure. The simple mock fever is your body resisting the urge to stay up. Some believe it's the body starting to burn cells out, looking for the micronutrients it needs to continue. Oh! One sec, I have to look something up. Fever symptoms. Sweating, chills and shivering, headache, muscle aches, loss of appetite, irritability, dehydration, general weakness. That sounds like the flu. Like, with less sinus stuff. That sounds like the flu. I don't think I've ever had just a fever. I think I've had a fever while I have the flu. Is that normal? It's best one, die mad. Shut up. You're a little freak. You like Dark Souls 2. And I will give it another shot. Listen. I will give it another shot. It is fun to watch other people play it. People who know what they're doing. I just don't know what I'm doing in Dark Souls 2. So it's definitely gonna be a time. It's gonna be a time. If you ever need someone to put Dark Souls 2 in a positive light for you, I'm all here for it. Because I don't think the game is the best, but it has its own merits. Zuchi, you're right and you should say it more, Mr. Man. No one ever does. That's how video games work. Okay, yes. You got me there. You got me there. No one ever really knows how it works. Come on. We're freaks together. Freaks. I say as it at the Goblin Online. Y'all are freaks. Little freaks. Me too. That's okay. We're all freaks here. Listen. I do really want to play Dark Souls 2, and I'm very excited to do so. I will be going into it with a very different mindset than I do my normal games. It will be I'm going to be so flexible with the mindset. Yeah, that clip about you drawing mouths. Hey. I offer up my specific tastes online for people to feel seen and represented. And sometimes to make a fool of myself. Because, honestly, I find it kind of funny. But I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. We're all freaks about something. Sometimes it's Dark Souls 2. Sometimes it's mouths. See? Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, let me draw this plate. Please, Dean. Thank you for the earwiggles. Part of me is, like, a big part of me is very excited to get 3D tracking because the amount of times that the amount of bits that I do while I'm streaming and I'm, like, pointing at the camera as if y'all can actually see my hands happens so frequently. But y'all can't see it. Y'all cannot see it happening. So, I think y'all may be genuinely very surprised by just how much my hands move. I always found Dark Souls 2 lacks context to be its most charming quality. An eternal mystery to chew over forever. Okay. Okay, I can understand the appeal there. Italian the speaking with your hands. Zuchi, I just like how many options you have in Dark Souls 2 for what area you can do next. Can't get past the first boss, you can do like 10 other areas first if you want. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can go in a lot of directions. That is one of my big complaints about Lies of P is you can't really go in a lot of directions, but you can do that with Dark Souls 2. You have a lot of options. You have like down a well. There's 4 different, well, I think there's 3 different paths you can take just from Majula. This is pretty good. It's pretty good. You got a lot of options. And then even then, it branches out more past that point. Possibly more the directions of Dark Souls 1. I would actually say more directions than Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 has a lot of directions, but Dark Souls 2 has a lot of them. And so it's very, very annoying that my brain got frustrated with it the first time I played Dark Souls 2 because I got stuck at nearly every point. So I got stuck on 6 different routes at one point is what it felt like. And I was like, what is going on? Why am I getting so stuck? So I'm probably gonna have to try to change up the play style a little bit. Because I did go with my classic go-to, which is strength, health, and stamina, the big 3. I may have to be a little more flexible. I will sit in and like mock nudge you if you want to. I might take you up on that. I might take you up on that. You can go forest, Heidi's, or hides, other forest, gutter, etc. Yeah, there's a lot of routes you can go. Absolutely. I do really like the armor and the character designs too. That's the frustrating part. I'm very excited for Dark Souls 2. Very, very excited. You have to max out your dodge. I think that was another point that I got frustrated with Dark Souls 2 is I didn't really understand where all the stats were going. I didn't really get it. But that's okay. Time to draw the food, baby. What I will do though is I do gotta add the drip is the best in the series. It's not even close. Yeah, the drip is really good. Fashion Souls is very easy to play in Dark Souls 2. I will agree to that. I do really like the fashion in Dark Souls in general, but Dark Souls 2 has the most options, I think. That was one of the things with Bloodborne is like I liked Bloodborne's fashion. They were all really good. I would have liked to see a little bit more variety though. It did have a lot of variety. There were some times where I'm like, I want a bit more. I'm gonna make up a little thing here. We're just gonna put a little circle here so it's easier to draw. Because I don't feel like drawing a complex tea platter. Oh, I do want to eat cucumber sandwiches now, actually. Ooh. Or do I want to bake bagels? Do I want to bake bagels or do I want to make cucumber sandwiches? Did I buy cucumber at the grocery store? I cannot recall, so maybe I can't make cucumber sandwiches. That's okay. Dark Souls 2 is the worst of the Soulsborne games, but it isn't as bad as people think it is. A lot of people have beg to differ. So I went immediately from playing Dark Souls Remastered, which was my first video game, to playing Dark Souls 2. And boy howdy, I did not have a good time. And the reason was because I think I was expecting Dark Souls 1, which I think was a mistake. The biggest problem I have with Dark Souls 2 is the fact that it's called Dark Souls 2 and it's not called its own thing. I understand why, but yeah. Bagel with cucumber. Ooh. Dark Souls 3 is the worst by far, in my humble opinion. It's too afraid to do anything that isn't paint by numbers. Dark Souls 1 retreading. Absolutely fair. I will say that I like Dark Souls Remastered, which is why I like Dark Souls 3, because it's just more Dark Souls. It's just more Dark Souls. Granted, it doesn't have as much replayability. Unless you count the DLC. The DLC is pretty fun. But it doesn't have as much replayability. Like, I don't feel the same joy as when I replayed Dark Souls 1. So, that's okay. The H means humble? I thought I meant honest. Oh, maybe it's honest. I always thought it was humble opinion. Maybe it is honest. Myth. Yeah, the game is fine in and of itself. It's not what people think or expect when you say the name Dark Souls. Yeah, I think that is kind of the problem with it. But even then, that's not really a problem. That's just an expectations thing. So the expectations I had for the game were different than what the game was doing. Because the game was kind of doing its own thing. And honestly, Dark Souls or Elden Ring would not really exist without Dark Souls 2 in some ways, because there's a lot of, from what I understand, there's a lot of Dark Souls 2 in Elden Ring. It's just polished and made better. Does this look good? Yeah, this looks passable. The linearity of Dark Souls 3 is what stopped me from finishing it. I thought the combat and new skill system was great. I just love having progression options. Dark Souls 3 lacks the clunkiness that the first had. I think that's kind of why it was interesting to me. Is like I got to experience a more smooth version of Dark Souls, but it definitely I can see why people are like, it's not that good. And I'm like, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. That line does not match there. There we go. Dark Souls 3 is supposed to be a proper sequel to the original Dark Souls, so it makes sense it rehashed some of the same stuff to me. Okay. Oop, wrong pen. Why did you select the G pen? I was on the textured pen, excuse you. Maybe I'll just do the line art for the table and call it an afternoon, because I am feeling my focus waning. Zuchi, and while I haven't finished Dark Souls 3, I gotta admit the bosses are good. Yeah, the bosses are real fun. Like, the design of the dancer. Fort's also a fun design. There's a lot of really fun designs in there. Maybe to rest, I'll just chill and play some Dark Souls 3. Could be fun, or I'll just play Elden Ring again. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'll have to just take care of myself for a bit. Mr. Man, it's fun as hell. Some of the best bosses of the entire series. Yeah. I think my favorite and most memorable boss is Dancer, in my opinion. Very, very fun. Very, very beautiful design. I love how she moves. So cool. Reminds me a little bit of the wet nurse from Bloodborne with the hooded face with like the ghost of nothing in it. Really, really cool. I'm trying to think of what is I'm trying to just go through my mind of like my favorite bosses in Dark Souls 3. And there's some that come to mind. There's the dragon that's holding a baby. There's Vort's dancer, of course. I think there's also like the church, which is just like a mob enemy boss, which is fun. It's different. What else was there? The final boss was not bad. Was pretty interesting. Oh, Aldrich was fun. Yeah. The witch is a fun one. Aldrich is good. The giant lord is also pretty fun. Once you learn the lore behind it, it's interesting. With him and Onion Knight. Oh, that plate is actually way off the table. I gotta move this stuff over. Otherwise it's gonna be falling off the table. And I might actually want to make this plate larger because perspective wise for me it would be quite big. I got tiny hands. I got little tiny hands. Teapot. Let's scooch it over. There we go. Abyss Watchers was great. Ooh, yeah, the Abyss Watchers were fun. Once you learn how to parry them, it's quite fun. Pontiff Sullivan, Nameless King, Slave Knight Gale. Ooh, yeah, actually. Yeah. Nameless King was pretty fun. I liked his design. What do you mean by memorable boss? Like the hardest to beat or just by design? Just if I remember them. That's what memorable really means to me. Mr. Man, honestly, so many of the bosses are just like, hey, remember these fights from old games? What if we did them again? Hmm. That's the thing is I'm trying to remember the bosses, and until y'all said them, I forgot about them. Either it's been long enough that I haven't played Dark Souls 3, or I just don't remember them as much. So dying a lot in losing souls is going up against harder PvP enemies. I'll admit Dark Souls 2 has the worst PvP because the matchmaking was based on soul memory, which is the total souls picked up, not total souls used. That's different. Those are two different things for sure. Oh no. Yeah. Slave Knight Gale's very I like Slave Knight Gale's story. Um what was her name? Fia? No, not Fia. What was the princess that was asleep? What was her name? It was the one that's eternally asleep and the world existed within her dream, I think. Dark Souls 3 was my first Soulsborne, so it has a special place in my heart, and I have fond memories with almost all the bosses. Yeah, that's fair. Aurora, Sister Fried. Well, no, it wasn't Sister Fried. Sister Fried was really cool, actually. Her and her father fighting them were really, really fun. Very, very fun. No, what was it? It's Filianor. I think it was a reference to Angel's Egg, where it's just a woman like sleeping on top of a little egg, and something would happen if the egg would hatch or get destroyed. You know. What was I doing? Right. I was doing cups, plates. Let's grab this. Oh, not the teapot. Cups, plates. Grab this, scooch it over so one in front of me. There we go. And teapot can be above everything. Yep, that's fine. Was it Filianor? I think it was Filianor. I could be mistaken though. But we need those Bloodborne 2. Here's the thing. I don't know if we need Bloodborne 2. Bloodborne did what it wanted to do so well that I'm like, yeah, I can live without seeing more Bloodborne. Oops, that is not what I meant to do. I think it did what it needed to do. I can't really imagine what else it would do. I am excited to see what else FromSoft would like to do though, because Elden Ring was really fun. I really liked it. I always have a hard time with open world games because I'm always like, oh, I feel like I'm missing out if I don't fully complete it. And I think Breath of the Wild probably did it the best. Breath of the Wild is like the best open world game I think ever. Like with the exception of like Minecraft, I guess, because that's a game that just kind of goes forever. But Breath of the Wild did it the best. Elden Ring did it pretty good. I feel like it's missing a little bit of the like Mr. Man calls it like dirt eating, and I think that's probably the best way to describe it is like the dirt eating part of it where the survival is harder. And that's what would make it way more enjoyable to me, but I don't think it would be Elden Ring if it did that though. Jeff, so we meet again. Yeah, suck it, Skyrim. Skyrim was fine. Skyrim was alright. The downside with Skyrim is I couldn't play very much of it, because once I got stuck in a cave, my sense of direction is awful. I got motion sick and was like, I can't play this game anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm scared I'd be disappointed if Bloodborne 2 came out. Yeah, true. Love the avatar, how it moves and the expressions. Thank you, Woofy. Made it myself. I think, what would I like Miyazaki to do next? I don't know, because, like, I'm kind of interested in Night Rain. However, I have some concerns about Night Rain. I'm worried that first off, it's 3 players, which is great because it means I can play with some friends. I'm super excited about that. But I don't know if it would be better than Elden Ring or if it will be worse than Elden Ring. Because it seems like it's the same system, but with a different sort of like closed area fighting style with multiple players. And there is a thing where with games, I have to kind of go, okay, is this game fun because I'm playing with my friends, or would this game be fun if I was just playing by myself? And so there's a little bit of that with Night Rain where I'm like, would I enjoy this simply because I could play with my friends? Or would this just be fun by itself? Because like I really like Elden Ring's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's way more fun when I modded it to play with my friends. It's way more fun that way. From what I understand, it's Dark Souls 4, and that's what it looks like from the trailer, and that can be fun. But I would almost like to, if it's like Dark Souls Fortnite, I think I would change my playstyle a bunch. I think I would change my playstyle to like an archer that can also do damage when they get up close. Fun with a friend just means you like your friends. Exactly. Fun with friends doesn't necessarily mean you like the game. It means you like time with your friends, which is good. Sometimes there are games like that. Some games are meant to just be enjoyed with your friends because you want to hang out with your friends. It is an excuse to hang out and create fun moments. But oftentimes the reason I liked Soulsborne games so much is because I could play them by myself and have an amazing experience. Dark Souls Remastered, Sekiro, Bloodborne, excellent. Excellent. Those are my favorites. Sekiro is my favorite, but I will not say no to the either of the other two as well. Like I love them. But yeah, that was something to think about when I looked at the games. No more Dark Souls, only Armored Core. I haven't played Armored Core. I have heard good things about Armored Core. I just haven't played it. I can feel my focus waning. Oh gosh. Alright, that's okay. It's a Dark Souls mech builder. That's the problem when too much time passes for any anticipation or desired games. Eventually, the expectations rise to a point nothing the devs could possibly meet because nothing could hope to live up to the collective imagination. Yep. Yep, I agree. Alright. I'm gonna just do a rough drawing of food and see what comes out of that. There we go. Because I want to have sandwiches on there. So if I remember correctly with high tea, you either start from the bottom, go to the top, or you start from the top and go to the bottom. I think it's bottom to top. Because that's where like the sandwiches are, and then you get the sweets, and then you get more of the little tiny dainty sweets. Model's so cute. Thank you, Lou. Unless you're Titanfall 2, then you're just built different. Sekiro is the best FromSoft games ever made, but still deserves that everyone knows about the easier difficulty mods out there. I think it's very interesting because I remember when Sekiro came out, there were talks of like accessibility. People were like, "Oh, this game is too hard. What about people who have disabilities?" And it was just like, okay. And then someone with an actual disability was like, "No, I like the game as is. Like, I don't want games to be easier just because not a lot of people can play them, you know?" It brings up the interesting accessibility conversation where I like that Sekiro has a pause button because, like, what if you need to pause the game? It doesn't make sense for online games, you know? But it sort of brought up the conversation of, well, it's like, well, what makes something accessible? What changes need to be made to games, you know? And it was an interesting conversation where like I don't feel that I am fully equipped to handle it because I can only express my opinions that are my own, you know? I am not able to represent everybody, right? Let's see, maybe half the size of these sandwiches. Yeah. Echo, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Oh, Apocalyptic. What'll probably happen is constant DLC drops. New bosses, new characters, probably from previous FromSoft games, because you don't play a custom character, you play as pre-made character. Oh, okay. Let's we're getting to about the half hour since you said I'll go for maybe a half hour more. How you feeling, honey? Not bad. I think I will let's stream for about 10 more minutes because I'm almost at 2.5 hours. So we'll cap it at 2.5 hours, I think. I think that's a good one to do. Oh, little stretch. Because yeah, I can feel my focus is already out the window, so I'm just doing perspective boxes for desserts. Oh, I want to eat a macaron so bad. Macaron. My beloved expensive almond flour treats. I have not had thee in years. I yearn for the crunch. Jeff stacking dollar bills on it. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like stacks of money. The crunchy little bastards. Oh, they're so expensive. I made them too. So here's a fun thing. You can make macarons. They are a little bit difficult because you have to get the consistency correct, but they are real tasty. And here's the thing. The cream on the inside is fine. Like the buttercream on the inside is fine. That's not the part that I want. I want the cookie on the ends. They're so tasty. They're so good. High class, honey. I would like to eat good treats. I would like to enjoy myself and eat good treats, and so I make good treats for myself to enjoy. Move this over a little bit. You go, how do you think she got all those fancy dresses and such? I treat myself to good things. Also, I try to make dresses when I have a dress I want. So, fun thing, what I'll do a lot of the times is I will go to shops, like high-end fashion shops, and because a lot of the times like puffy dress sleeves like this are really expensive. Like dresses like this can be really, really expensive. So what I'll do is I will take a look, see what I like, take pictures, do drawings, make notes, and then go, okay, how can I recreate this myself? Like, what fabric do I need? What sort of materials do I need? Do I need to embroider it? Do I need to get a particular type of thread? And so I will study it and mishmash what I want to make clothes that I want. And instead of just buying the clothes and potentially going like, oh, I have to wear this, you know, I wasted so much money. I turn it into a project, a craft project to go like, this is a way to test my skills. Even if it doesn't end up being the way I wanted it to, I have still learned something. When my eyes glance over the drawing, it almost looks like Honey's jacked as hell. People said that a bunch. It's like, I mean, it would be cool. I don't think I would want my arms to be this big, but it would be cool to be very strong. Oh, little stretch. To agree, call me Lambie. I mean, to a degree is possible. I think it makes sense to make the game easier. If some disabled people feel they enjoy the difficulty, they can, but if they feel it's too hard for them, then they have the option at least. I feel like it should be possible to make an option without affecting everyone else. Maybe, yeah. I got them bands on. Mr. Man, I think it'd be cool if you had arms that big. It could be neat. I feel like a lot of my jackets would have fit. I would have a hard time putting my arms through the sleeves. I would like to be very strong, though. I like being strong. There's always a sort of tricky balance for me where I'm like, I would like to be very, very strong. And I would like to have nice muscles. But then some days I'm like, I want to look very feminine. I want to look very feminine. And unfortunately, a lot of feminine shapes are associated with daintiness and thinness. And so that can be a little bit hard to navigate with body types, you know? It's difficult. But it's fun to experiment with gender. I like it. But tomboy, that's true. Oh, if only we could shapeshift, because I enjoy being tomboy. That's kind of me right now. I am a little bit of a tomboy, and that's okay. It's actually quite nice. I like myself. Yeah, I want to separate these. So let's turn that down. And then make another layer for food. Just become a muscle mommy, best of both worlds. What if I don't want to become a Bobby? I'll just become a witch in a bog. Like I had always dreamed since I was a kid. Tomboy, best boy. Thank you. Also, Johnny, thank you for the hydrate. Casual Sleepy Gamer, thank you for the 200 shinies, by the way. If I were to point out the biggest sweet at this tea party, I simply point to you, honey. Why, thank you, but I cannot compete with macarons. Macarons are so good. They're so, so good. You've been all over my TikTok. Nice finding you. Oh, thank you, Freak. Thank you, Andy Freak. I don't have a TikTok, but it's neat that I ended up on there. Very kind of people to put me on there. Johnny, thanks for the posture check and breathe. But don't me. Oh, good stretch. Phew. You ever heard of the character called Vargas from the Fate series? Woman has a body that would make Schwarzenegger jealous and still pulls off a dress. God damn. God damn. I have not seen that character though. That's interesting. Hecate from Hades 2 is muscular. True. Here's the tricky part. A lot of these muscle mommy characters are tall. They are tall and they can be imposing and confident and really cast a shadow, you know, on you. I'm kind of short. I am not particularly tall. So I always worry that like getting more muscular horizontally will make me look even shorter and sort of make me look stockier, which is not necessarily the body type that I aim for. So the closest I usually get is a pretty like androgynous body type because my shoulders are wider than my hips. So it's fun because I have a little bit of an more androgynous look with my clothes. But platform shoes? But what if I twist my ankle? What if I twist my ankle and fall and hurt myself? He does not wish to be the muscle mommy, but smooching the muscle mommy. That is another matter entirely. Okay, you know what? You are correct, Plug Bear. Smooching the muscle mommy. Don't got a problem with that. People need to use Buff Pup's IRL pics as reference for short and muscular. True. Isn't Buff Pup like 5'3"? Like, she's not too tall. I mean, not like you're going as wide as Jonathan Joestar. We're not counting JoJo characters. Those are different. There we go. Supercron. Thank you for this sub for 6 months. Dang, thank you so much. Someone fetch the Dorito-shaped honey. Get it out there. Goblins are meant to be short, but that just makes you more cute, honey. Thank you. Don't think of it as short, think of it as fun size, like a bag of peanut M&Ms. I do love peanut M&Ms. They are delicious. Good afternoon, Floyd. Big fan. Could you recommend an artist that would be a good place for someone trying to break into VTubing as a start as far as model building? Ooh, okay. So, Floyd, are you looking for some tutorials to make your own model, or are you looking for a model artist? Because there is a difference, and they point you in kind of opposite directions. So there are a bunch of tutorials, so highly recommend checking out those 2 channels if you haven't already. But yeah, but if you're looking for an artist, I can tell you how to go searching for one, because there are particular ways to find artists that do what you would like. But I started with AI code generation to try to build a builder, but I don't have software. Would be down for contacting one. Yeah, so you kind of can't really necessarily go around looking for an artist by looking for artists. You can. Kind of the best way to do it is to find a VTuber whose art style you like and see who did their model art and riggings. Oftentimes, the model art and the model rigging are two separate things done by two separate artists. Sometimes, such as myself, I do both. I can rig other people's art and my own. So I would recommend going to see a streamer that or a VTuber you like, and then looking in their about and credit sections, and then finding out who drew their model. Oftentimes, model people who draw the models are called artists or cutting artists because they have cut the model into hundreds to thousands of pieces for the model to be able to move. That's probably the way that I would recommend going on it, because this way you can potentially avoid people who are pretending to be artists and scamming you for potentially thousands of dollars. Price wise, you might run into people that offer $500, even $300 on the lower end, to a couple thousand for model artists. The price range will vary, so do check multiple artists and see which ones are within your budget. But yeah, one of the reasons why I don't recommend people look directly for artists is because you can run into a lot of scams where people are like, I do model cutting art, and they don't actually do it. So I would recommend looking for VTubers who are up and running and talk to them and ask who did their model art and rigging, because you can see the product of the work working in real time. That is how I would recommend going about it. So yeah, if you like, for example, like Buff Pup's art, or Buff Pup's rigging. Buff Pup credits who does her art and rigging, probably in her bio or her Twitter bio, and you can just click there. Like I went down a little rabbit hole along those lines. That's great. You're looking in the right places then. So you remember when you said 2.5 hours? We're coming up on that time now. Yeah, I think now's a pretty good time to go like, okay, we've done a good chunk of art. My brain needs a little bit of a rest. So I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna take it easy. Oh, Lelouch, thanks for the posture check and the hydrate. It got closest building software population with assets is all over and not my leisure domain. I have no idea what you're talking about. That is outside of my realm of knowledge. Supercrom, first time here, just want to say thank you for what you do. No worries. Thank you for being here and just expressing appreciation. Thank you so much for addressing and noticing my question. You're a big inspiration. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Fact, I need to find tutorials on VRM modeling and rigging. I want to dive deeper into it to custom rigs. Okay, so that's interesting. So fun fact, Fractabellum is not talking about live 2D rigging. Fractabellum is talking about 3D rigging. So VRM is a file format for 3D models, typically used for through Vroid and Blender. My bad. No worries. That's what I mean. Making models is extremely complex, and there are a lot of different file types that you can really easily get lost in. It is very tricky to understand. Like I am just now dipping my toes into the realm of 3D, and it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, and in some ways it is easier than Live 2D, and some ways it is very difficult. I find Live 2D is very easy to begin, but difficult to understand once you get into the math of physics and conditional toggles. Blender seems really difficult in the beginning because of all the hotkeys and navigation tools you need to get into, but afterwards it seems to get a little simpler as you go on. Granted, I'm only in the model learning phase, so potentially texturing, weight painting, bones, and physics might be an entirely different thing, but yeah. In terms of learning Elastic 3.3 Blender shortcuts, I'm using 3.6 right now just to learn. But yeah, for VRM, I would say for any tutorials, YouTube is always your go-to. I don't really have any recommendations right now because I am following a tutorial series by Mr. Zing, and I have no idea what the results are going to be like, so I can't even, like, I can recommend checking him out and seeing if you like it, but I have no idea if it is going to be good for everyone, if that makes sense. Such a good looking goblin artwork. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's interesting because my brain is experiencing the art curve art block where it's like this doesn't look correct to me. This art does not look correct. And that's okay. I am allowing my brain to create the art without worrying necessarily about what it looks like. How about one last save for the road? Love the line art on this. Super excited to see what's coming in 3D too. Oh boy. Oh, buddy, me too. All right, we save this. And we just stretch a little bit. Lord Vampy, thanks for the breathe routine. The desire to put a weighted blanket over your face and compress your head into the pillow, but whoa, must breathe. Yeah, snoot out. Blender is so good, lots of people get caught up with modes, edit mode, etc. Yep, modes is something that I'm trying to navigate for sure. But I am very glad that I am doing that. Oh, little stretch. But yeah, Floyd, I have no idea how to use code builders. So like I can't even offer any realm of expertise. Like I have no idea how ethical or complicated they are. So I just stay in the realm of art and rigging with my own my own two hands and my own brain. Dill Pickle, hey. We talked yesterday. Your picture's looking great so far. Thank you. Yeah, I've been seeing around plenty, Dill Pickle. Fact, it's exciting. Can't wait to see your 3D stuff. Me too. Me too. Yippee! I'm so excited. I am so excited. But yeah, I think that's enough streaming time for me. I can feel myself getting really tired, which is okay. I had a lot happen this week. Gonna chill. Gonna take it easy. I'm gonna also eat lunch and be kind to myself. So, we are going to go visit here we go. We are going to visit Miss Lala because she's doing a Hope for Endo 12-hour charity event. So it's for a really good cause. Miss Lala has some lovely guests on right now. I'm sure they'll be able to explain more of what they are getting into when we come visit. So I think it is a lovely idea to go visit them because they're doing a charity stream. Whew, thank y'all so much for coming. I'm so sorry I slept in and was late today, but I'm glad that I got to do a little bit of art and the line art for this. So thank you so much for coming. I will be streaming Monday at 5 p.m. PST or 8 p.m. EST if that's your time zone. And we're either going to be playing Lies of P or we'll be doing more art. We'll see what my brain is sort of feeling. I think Tea Time Raid is a pretty good one. Thank you, Randomer. Let's use a Tea Time Raid. Oh, I am excited to get some rest. I think it'll be good for me to just chill, take it really nice and easy, recover a little bit from this week, and be nice to myself. Gotta remember to be nice to myself. But I will see y'all very soon. Thank you again for coming today and being so patient with me. Ugh. Let's go say hi to Miss Lala and her guests. Y'all have a good day, alright? I'll see y'all real soon. Bye-bye! Thank you!